Stop chasing those who can't see your worth. You keep offering your heart to people who are blind to its worth. You keep showing up with all this love, all this loyalty, hoping they'll finally recognize what's been right in front of them. But some folks, they just can't see past their own limitations. It's not that you're not valuable, it's that they're not capable. And you've been taking that personally, haven't you? Wondering what's wrong with you, wondering why they didn't choose you, why they didn't see you. But let me tell you something. A diamond doesn't stop being a diamond just because somebody walked past it. Some people wouldn't know value if it was placed in their hand. You are not here to convince anyone of your worth. You are not here to chase people down, to beg them to stay, to shrink so they'll feel more comfortable. The moment you do that, you start losing pieces of yourself. You quiet your voice, dull your shine, twist yourself into someone else just to be tolerated. Not loved, not celebrated, just tolerated. And that's no way to live. They didn't see you because they weren't supposed to. You're not meant to be seen by people who aren't on your level. You're not meant to be understood by people who haven't done the work to understand themselves. That doesn't make you invisible. That makes you rare. That makes you real. You've got to stop trying to prove something to people who wouldn't recognize gold if it was laid at their feet. Their blindness is not your burden. Their rejection is not your reflection. You don't have to prove you're worthy. You already are, so stand up, hold your head high. Stop handing your value to people who were never equipped to honor it. They couldn't see your light because they weren't meant to walk in your direction. And that's okay, because the ones who are meant for you, they'll see it, they'll feel it. You won't have to shout for them to hear you. You won't have to beg for them to stay. They'll come with open hands, open hearts, ready. But before they can find you, you've got to stop chasing the ones who were never looking. Because your value, it was never invisible. They were just never ready to see it. You ever notice how tired your soul feels after chasing someone who doesn't care if you're there or not? That heavy weight in your chest, that ache behind your smile, that's not love. That's you running after something that keeps slipping away, and in the process, you're losing yourself. Every time you reach out and get silence, every time you double, text double, call double, apologize for things you didn't even do, a piece of your dignity chips away. And you start thinking maybe if you were a little quieter, a little less emotional, a little more easy to deal with, maybe then they'd love you right. But that's not love. That's survival. You weren't created to beg for love. You weren't designed to chase people who run from you. You are not here to perform just to earn what should be given freely. Because here's the truth. The moment you start chasing someone who doesn't value you, you hand them the remote to your self-worth. You let them control how you feel, how you see yourself, how you move in this world. That's too much power to give someone who hasn't even earned your trust. You shrink your light so you won't blind them. You mute your voice so they won't walk away. But guess what? If they walk when you're real, they were never meant to stay. And if they only love you when you're small, that's not love, that's convenience. It's time to stop chasing and start choosing. Choose peace over performance. Choose dignity over desperation. Choose yourself, because chasing them is not strength. It's surrendering your worth just to be tolerated. And that's not the kind of life you were born to live. You were born to be seen, felt, respected. You were born to walk in rooms and not wonder if you're enough. And the people who are meant for you, they won't make you chase. They'll meet you halfway every time. So stop handing out your energy to people who don't know what to do with it. Stop running toward doors that were already closing before you got there. The real power is in your pause. The dignity is in your decision to stop. Because the moment you stop chasing someone who doesn't see your value, that's the moment you start returning to it. People don't learn how to treat you by what you say. They learn by what you tolerate. Every time you let someone cancel on you, disrespect you, ghost you, and then come back like nothing happened, and you allow it, you teach them who you are. Not with words, but with permission, with silence. You see, the world mirrors you. The energy you send out, the standard you hold, the boundaries you protect, that's what comes back to you. So if you keep showing up for people who don't show up for you, you're telling them it's okay to keep doing it. If you keep loving people who leave you empty, you're telling the universe that crumbs are enough, but they're not. You've got to stop handing out access to your heart like it's free. You've got to stop putting people on pedestals just because you're afraid of being alone. Loneliness hurts, yes, but betrayal, that pain lasts longer. When you respect yourself, everything shifts. Not in a loud, aggressive way, but in a quiet, unshakable way. You begin to walk differently. You speak with more clarity. You no longer beg for someone to explain why they treated you like you didn't matter. Because deep down, you already know they treated you the way you treated yourself. That's the real shift. You stop waiting on apologies. You stop chasing closure. You stop proving your worth to people who were never ready for it. And slowly, but powerfully, you begin to honor yourself. That means you walk away when they give you half of what you deserve. That means you say no, even when your voice shakes. That means you choose solitude over being someone's second option. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. So if you carry yourself like someone who's worth the wait, worth the respect, worth the full effort, people will either rise to meet you or fall away. And that's exactly how it should be. You've spent enough time trying to prove your heart to people who didn't know how to hold it. Now it's time to prove it to yourself. Because when you finally treat yourself like you matter, the world starts to follow your lead. You keep holding on to people who have already let go of you. You keep clinging to stories that ended chapters ago. And I get it, you're afraid to let go because maybe, just maybe, they'll come back and finally love you right. But here's what you need to understand. You can't catch what's meant for you if your hands are still holding what's breaking you. You say you want peace, but you keep answering chaos. You say you want love, but you keep chasing pain. You say you want truth, but you keep entertaining lies that sound like comfort. And all the while, what's truly meant for you is standing outside the door, waiting, while you keep inviting the past to sleep on your couch. The right people, they don't come into crowded spaces. They don't fight for a seat where the table's already full of doubt, confusion, and toxicity. Sometimes the delay isn't because your blessing isn't ready. It's because you haven't made space for it. You've got to stop trying to heal in the arms of the ones who broke you. You've got to stop praying for better while holding on to worse. Because your future can't begin while your present is still chained to the past, and you know it. Deep down, you feel it every time you try to convince yourself to stay, every time you minimize your needs just to keep someone close. That's not love, that's fear, and fear will keep you stuck. Fear will have you choosing familiar pain over unfamiliar peace. But let me tell you, peace is worth the risk. Freedom is worth the fall. Because once you let go of what's not yours, you give the right ones room to find you. The ones who don't make you beg to be understood, the ones who see you and stay, who meet you with clarity, not confusion, who show up fully, not halfway. But they can't find you if you're still lost in someone else's shadow. They won't fight through walls you're too afraid to tear down, so you have to make the call. You have to choose to release what's no longer serving you, even if it once felt like everything. Let go not because you're weak, but because you're finally strong enough to stop settling. Because holding on to the wrong one is the very thing keeping the right one from ever reaching you. You've been mistaking effort for love. You've been thinking that if you just try harder, give more, stay longer, maybe, just maybe, they'll finally give you the same in return. But that's not love, that's struggle, that's survival disguised as loyalty. Love, real love, doesn't feel like chasing. It doesn't feel like confusion. It doesn't have you questioning your worth every night, wondering if you're too much or not enough. It doesn't keep you stuck in cycles of silence, followed by apologies that come too late and heal too little. You deserve someone who brings you peace, not anxiety. Someone who matches your energy, not drains it. Someone who's consistent, not convenient. And if someone's presence makes you feel small, like you're always on edge, trying to read between the lines, trying to hold on tighter while they pull away, that's not connection. That's emotional exhaustion. That's trauma in disguise. You've accepted less because somewhere along the way, you were taught that love had to hurt, that it had to be earned, that it came through sacrifice, compromise, even self-abandonment. But the truth is, love doesn't ask you to disappear. It doesn't ask you to lose yourself to keep someone else. You show up with your whole heart, and they respond with silence. You love out loud, and they love in conditions. That's not balance. That's a one-sided deal, and the more you pour into people who only take, the more you dry up. And when you're empty, they'll still want more. That's how the cycle works. But I need you to hear this. You don't deserve scraps. You don't deserve to be an option. You don't deserve to beg for the bare minimum. Love, at its core, is mutual. It's not just about giving, it's about being received, fully, without games, without conditions, without begging. And when you stop settling, when you stop confusing effort with acceptance, that's when things shift. You begin to realize your peace is priceless. Your presence is powerful. Your love is not cheap, it's sacred, and it belongs in hands that can carry it with care. So stop showing up for people who never show up for you. Stop mistaking their indecision for something deep. It's not. If they can't choose you with both feet planted, let them go. Because you don't need someone to complete you. You need someone who complements the love you already give yourself. It's easy to think that walking away means you gave up, that you didn't try hard enough, that maybe if you just held on a little longer, they'd finally change. But let me tell you, walking away isn't weakness. It's the kind of strength most people don't talk about. It's the kind of courage that whispers, you deserve more. Even when your heart is still breaking. See, anyone can chase, anyone can beg, anyone can stay in a situation that's familiar, even if it's hurting them. That's easy. What's hard is choosing yourself when everything in you wants to hold on. What's hard is saying, this isn't love, when you've been taught to call pain by its name. There's a certain wisdom that comes with experience, and eventually you learn that not all losses are losses. Some are exits to better chapters. Some are closed doors that protect you from futures you don't belong in. Some endings are gifts in disguise. You've been conditioned to think that staying is noble, that holding on is proof of love, but love doesn't require suffering. Love doesn't demand that you shrink yourself just to be tolerated. Love doesn't silence your needs, ignore your tears, or make you feel invisible. That's not love, that's control. That's fear. That's dependency, and it keeps you stuck in places you've outgrown. So no, walking away doesn't make you weak. It means you've finally had enough of trying to earn something that should have been freely given. It means you've stopped trying to fix what keeps breaking you. It means you've realized that your heart, your time, your soul, they're not up for negotiation anymore. Because the truth is, real love doesn't require convincing. The right people won't need a presentation to see your worth. They won't leave you questioning your value. They won't come and go like the seasons. They'll stay, and you won't have to chase them to do it. The moment you walk away from what no longer serves you, You reclaim every piece of yourself you gave away just to keep the peace. You step back into your power. You remember who you are. And in that silence, in that stillness, something beautiful begins. Healing, clarity, peace, you stop surviving and you start living, so no, walking away isn't the end. It's the beginning of everything you were always meant to have. Stop chasing those who can't see your worth. The right ones will never need convincing. Walk away not to prove a point, but to protect your peace.